Harvard's help. Amway was able to spread its influence in China and remain unfazed by law enforcement, not only with U.S. government help, but also with the support of prestigious American institutions, such as Harvard University, in an Amway-Harvard partnership. The financial ties between Harvard and Amway were revealed in a September 24, 2013 story in Bloomberg News by Dune Lawrence, entitled Amway Embraces China Using Harvard Guanxi. Lawrence reported that Amway was underwriting a program in which Harvard received payments to provide a public policy training program for provincial leaders of the Chinese government. The Chinese participants were called Amway Fellows, and the Amway-paid program included tours and meetings at Amway headquarters. The article revealed how Amway leveraged Harvard's influence and its respected university status, a form of affiliate marketing called guanxi in China, to protect its commercial scheme in China from fraud investigations. In response to an inquiry from former Assistant Attorney General of Wisconsin Bruce Craig about the propriety of Harvard's endorsement of Amway, David Elwood, Dean of Harvard Kennedy School, wrote in November 2013, quote, "Our funding arrangement with Amway China is animated by that mission and the belief that we are contributing to the public good in China." As more negative revelations about MLM surfaced during the FTC prosecution of Herbalife, and following persistent further inquiries, Bruce Craig received a one-sentence email in 2017 from Douglas Elmendorf, the current dean of the Harvard Kennedy School, that cryptically stated, quote, "We do not currently have a program involving Amway, and we have no plans to reinstitute such a program." A New York Times article which referred to this Harvard scheme after Harvard withdrew offered one telling example of how Harvard aided Amway in evading law enforcement, while other MLMs, Avon, USANA, Nu Skin, and Herbalife, were pursued. In one city with more than 3 million people, where Amway was aggressively recruiting, dozens of former Amway distributors accused the company of abetting extortionate practices that left them in debt. They accused their upline recruiters of, quote, "conning them into buying products they could not realistically sell." One recruit ran up debt of hundreds of thousands of dollars, telling the Times reporter, "I was brainwashed." In May 2016, the Chinese government initiated an investigation. Then it inexplicably stalled. The official in charge was transferred. Ex-Amway recruits believed regional officials involved with Amway had suppressed their testimonies and complaints, and a local television station was instructed not to report their case. The local TV journalist said the suppression directive came from high up in the government's, quote, propaganda department, which was headed by an official who participated in the Amway-Harvard promotional scheme. Related to bribing Chinese officials to maintain, quote, direct selling licenses, the MLM Nu Skin paid an SEC fine of more than $700,000. Avon was fined $135 million. Federal investigation of USANA on bribery claims is ongoing. Herbalife set aside $125 million for potential fine payments. The scale of all MLM bribery to evade China's strict anti-MLM law can be glimpsed in the 2019 federal indictment of Herbalife. It describes cash payments, vacation, travel expenses, and other gifts by Herbalife officials of more than $25 million, followed by accounting fraud to cover up the payments. In September 2019, Herbalife agreed to pay a civil penalty of $20 million. In the settlement statement, the the SEC used the FTC's definition of MLM, in which, quote, sales are referenced as the basis of compensation, acknowledged that the MLM model is illegal in China, and affirmed Herbalife, quote, made false and misleading public statements in numerous U.S. regulatory filings regarding its China business model. It also detailed how Herbalife concocted an hourly wage system to effectively camouflage the recruiting payments in China. None of this led to the FTC investigating Herbalife or any other MLMs further. Amway itself, by far the largest of all MLMs operating in China, has escaped any formal investigation or prosecution, and its scheme with Harvard to provide all expense-paid trips for Chinese government officials in America is not classified as bribery. The Clinton Boodle.